Recording? Sweet. Hey guys, it's Chance for Team Stomping Grounds here with Trevor Rowe, our first player. Trevor, you want to tell the people what you're playing today?
Sure. I'm playing a Tau MSU list based off Devilfish spam. Got some Riptides, Sky Rays, good stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of transfer trips. Something we're going to have to see a lot in this edition, at least I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
Other than the obvious, what do you think is going to really pack the punch in this? Just the fact that Devilfish are really good right now, so you want to get as many on the table as possible, and then you just kind of bring the tides as like long range fire. What do you think's going to happen?
I think that the Devilfish are going to finish things up for me, but I think the game is basically going to be based off of the Riptides and the Broadsides. I think they're going to do a lot of the heavy lifting, and then I'm going to finish it off with the Devilfish.
Is this something where you think, I mean, you just going to take the Devilfish and just run them over objectives, that sort of thing, kind of like late game? Or?
Yeah, I think they're just going to sit in the back mostly, shoot off some SMS, try and pick off some units or some tanks and whatnot, because they're all 10 and 11 armor. And then at the end of the game, they're just going to scoot forward and objective secure some.
So you're going to play Tau, the way Tau was meant to be played.
Yeah, I'm going to sit still and shoot stuff.
Hang out, stay within gun range, which is pretty much the table,
More or less.
and then just take people out.
Yeah, that's the plan.
That sounds absolutely good. Now, Rob's bringing Dark Eldar.
Right.
What do you need to get off of that table?
I'm concerned about the Beast Pack. It can definitely take up a couple of my tanks a turn, depending on exactly what buffs he throws on them and things like that. They may be a bigger issue, they might not. I mean, but that's what I'm concerned about.
Definitely. Well, he seems to get a lot of firepower in this, but see how it plays out.
That's it.
And we're here with our second player, Rob. Rob, you want to tell the people what you're playing?
Today I'll be playing Dark Eldar with some Eldar allies. Basically a Beast Pack with Eldrad and then some Dark Eldar support.
Definitely. We see a lot of stuff pushed into this list. You have multiple scoring units, you got a Beast Pack, you got some Eldar on the side. Why'd you pick the list? What do you think's going to be good for you?
Well, I've just been having a lot of fun with it, playing around with the new rules. I really like the new Jinx stuff. I wanted to try to see how much stuff I could pack into the list. Still have the Beast Star. Got some nice mobile scoring units. And I threw in some Reavers because I've just been having a lot of fun using the Reavers.
Yeah, we saw you in actually a gamecast against Trevor during our 7th edition weekend, doing a ton of work with Venoms and Ravagers. Do you think they're going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting, or are they kind of just there to support the Beast Pack?
In this matchup, I don't think they're going to be a little down because there's so much high strike shooting. All ignores cover for the most part, so my Jinx not really going to be an issue. I don't think it's a very favorable matchup for me. I feel like the Beast Star is going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting.
We'll see how it goes. One of the things is, if you're going to have to go, there's one thing with Trevor's list that needs to get off the table. What's it going to be?
I think the Broadsides need to go first. After that, probably the Riptides. So I'm going to see what my Ravagers can do to take care of those units, but it's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting matchup. But like you said, 7th edition, we have to figure out the meta. What better than play some games?
Yep.
Hey guys, Jesse here.
And Chance.
Or not.
All right.
How's it going, guys? So we're here bringing you another battle report. This is with Trevor Rowe versus Rob Fortin. Trevor Rowe is one of our apps for the team. He's been playing a lot, really getting involved in things for 7th edition.
Yeah, and we got Rob, seasoned member of the team. We're busting out some interesting lists. Rob's actually bringing Dark Eldar with Eldar allies. Trevor is just bringing the Tau.
Yeah, so they're both going in MSU build. However, Rob is bringing a unit actually everybody's used to seeing right now, the Beast Star.
Yeah,
so it's not double Farseer Beast Star like it was Eldar main, but it's still got Eldrad in it, and it's still a full Beast Pack.
Yeah, exactly. The Beast Pack, you guys have heard when we talked to Trevor or whatever, that's Trevor's #1 priority. Because if that Beast Pack gets across the field, it's just going to wipe stuff out. It is a roving death unit, essentially. And we're going to take a look at how they're going to deploy and stuff. Rob's pretty much going to hold the line with that Beast Pack. It has a huge sphere of influence over the center of the table, and that's going to be one of the big things is Rob's deploying first, he wants to go first, and he's just going to march the wall of death across the field.
Yeah, so you see his Ravagers behind. Trevor's going ahead, he's setting up pretty offensively here with all of his Devilfish, all of SMS. They're actually remarkably good, and most of his shooting ignores that powerful Jinx save. Which is kind of a big deal. I mean, their armor 10, open top, SMS are definitely a threat to them.
Yeah, and Trevor actually got an amazing perk out of the strategic tree where his guys have stealth and ruins, which is absolutely huge because that means that Trevor's jink is going to be massive whenever he moves up.
It'll be 2 up if he get cover save. Now, one thing I am not a fan of is Trevor goes ahead and deploys all of his Fire Warriors here, especially since you're going second. I don't know why in God's name they're so vulnerable.
I mean, Trevor wants more DACA.
But I understand the urge for the DACA, but you're deploying to go second here.
Sometimes a little less DACA will treat you right if that means you have DACA in later turns in the form of Fire Warriors who are alive and contest objectives, especially because they're objective secured. We talk about objective secured a ton. Both these armies are based around objective secured. They're based around objective secured transports. Especially.
I think his biggest play mistake, besides knocking over those broadsides that we just saw, is actually deploying his Fire Warriors. You know, the problem is he's leaving them out. That's a lot of splinter fire, and they're juicy targets for that beast pack to go. But to go with, I mean, it's not the right play in my opinion. I understand wanting to get them out, but I don't understand what the point of if you want to reach out and touch them first, why you can't just move your transports up 6, disembark 6, and still fire into them. Those guys have a 15-inch snap or rapid fire range.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where Trevor in the back of his head, I mean, he goes, well, okay, the beast pack can take out 2 of my double.
God, he killed another broadside.
And he's down. And he's back up. He's back up backwards,
well,
actually.
Now,
he's doing the fadeaway.
Now we're saying this. So Trevor probably has it in his mind it was the right call because what did he do? He seized.
Well then. Rob actually had a real big sad face on during this whole seizing process.
Yeah.
Which is quite interesting. I mean...
I still am not for the Fire Warriors being on the table in the open. Exposed. I mean, sure. Now they've called those things rubble safe, so they do have a 4-up cover save. But regardless, I mean, it's not. I don't think it's the right call. You see the broadsides, sky rays. You know, he's just unloading into his vehicles.
Yeah,
murdering things, which is great.
Where you bring Eldar, and Eldar actually got invisibility and shrouding and psychic this game. So if Rob gets turn 1, he goes, "All right, I have D6 plus 4 dice or something like that. I'm just going to make my beast pack invisible, and you have to hit it on snapshots. And if we're ever in close combat, you have to hit it on 6s. But in the turn that we see, man, that beast pack is brought down to what? A quarter?
Yeah. Now, big thing. Those Fire Warriors out, they're not bad. But honestly, I don't think the Alpha Strike suffers much if those Fire Warriors were in those transports. So you see Rob moving up his Dark Eldar bikes, his jet bikes, his beast pack right into the middle there. You know, and he's basically just he's trying to recover. Yeah. So he's now playing from behind. He got seized on. His big beefy unit took a lot of pressure. He lost a handful of venoms. Mm-hmm. But he's still not in a bad spot. I mean, he still has 3 Ravagers.
He still has mobility, and he still has firepower. That's something you can do. And now he has access to his spells, which is something where he didn't have on the top of the first turn.
And he also has a plethora of targets. Splinter cannons and all that, firing into those Fire Warriors. It's good. It's going to, they were so good in 5th edition because it was a Marine-heavy format.
Yeah.
And the poison shooting is just great at forcing you to take saves.
Yeah.
All those Fire Warriors you're doing is taking saves with a 4-up save.
Yeah, and we can actually see here, he's laying into these guys, just picking them off here and there. I mean, we actually see during this turn, those missile sides getting taken off the table.
Now, that's coupled with some poor rolling, too.
Buff Commander.
That's coupled with some poor rolling as well, because, I mean, we're talking about...
Trevor fails multiple...
We're talking about Night Fight is in effect, which Rob ignores, but he also has... He's in a ruins, and he has stealth ruins, and he could go to ground.
Yep.
So we're talking about getting through 2-up saves with his instant death. That's just poor rolling, but it happens. But the problem is, there's a plethora. That you're in a position where that could be a problem. Honestly, I think he was too aggressive in his deployment, and he did bank off the. Seizing a lot there. He was too aggressive in his deployment, and I think it's going to come back to bite him in the end.
Well, it's something we could see because he had such a good first turn. You wonder if maybe Trevor thought, well, the Beast Pack's going to get to me eventually. I might as well fight fire with fire and move up and get there. And if I roll well, I roll. If I don't, I don't. But that's something to take a look at. I mean, if you don't wipe the Beast Pack in the first turn, which Trevor actually failed to Nova on the first turn to Ripple Fire into that Beast Pack, if he can't take it out, see, now Trevor's got this, I'm just playing. I'm moving back. I'm just going to keep moving back. You didn't have to do that to begin with.
So one big thing that happens, if you see his devilfishes, they're in that concave line. They really need to be staggered a bit more. He just murders the jet bikes, and he keeps laying into that beast star, which is still a good move. But the problem is now your things are kind of in the position where you can get multiple things charged because you're keeping them in that vertical line, or in this case he concaved them a little bit. I really think he should have been staggering, and one big thing that really helps is instead of his fire warriors getting dwindled down by Ravagers, you see his devilfishes that they're actually durable in this aspect. I mean, a Ravager is shooting it with a Dark Lance. He's getting a 2-up Jink if he's behind the Rowan's, or he's getting a 3-up in general, because he also has disruption pods. And if he's doing that, it doesn't matter if he has a Snapfire when they're invisible. So what you really should be doing is kind of staggering yourself. Okay, if you're going to kill a devilfish with the Beast Star, you're going to kill a devilfish. The fire warriors are going to pop out. Then all my fire warriors are going to pop out, and we're just all going to lay waste into you. And you got to be smart about it. You got to shoot around his saves. So I do know that there's a Baron in there. So Baron is a 2+ save. Yeah. Eldar is a 4+ invulnerable but multiple wounds, or 3+ invulnerable rather, yes. Multiple wounds. But the other guys, sure, they have there's a Chimera there with a 4+ save. Then it's Razorwing, and those are all beast handlers. Like,
yeah, exactly. They can be
shoot around his saves.
Exactly, and it's one of those things where he still has 2 Riptides, even though the broadsides are gone. Those Riptides can lay into stuff. They were one of the key things last edition that could lay fire into anything that they wanted to and shoot wherever they damn well pleased. But just one of these things where now it feels like Rob had to play from behind. He got a little lucky, got the broadsides off the table, and now Trevor kind of seems like he doesn't quite know what he wants to do.
Exactly. He was ahead. He really heavily committed to things, and now he doesn't. The problem is he's fallen down that rabbit tunnel. It's happened to me a bunch, where if you're ahead, you try to maximize playing from ahead, and you actually put yourself behind. Like, he's not making great moves. He's tunnel visioning on.
Exactly. It's not so much the fact that Trevor would say tilting. I know a lot of people want to use tilting, that sort of thing, but it's kind of he made a decision and he stuck with the decision, and he can't see anything else other than that. We could see that Beast Pack's coming up, man, and it's gonna look to multi-assault. Mm-hmm. We had the Crisis Suit go back there, got blanked. But that's something Trevor kind of had to do. If he takes out the squad, cool. If he doesn't, it's not that big of a deal. Trevor really can't waste any time on that back table.
But do we see how Trevor is backing up now, because he's not necessarily prepared? What he should basically be doing is, okay, that Beast Pack's going to do it at once. He should actually be feeding it like a Devilfish or 2, putting himself in a position to kind of counter up while simultaneously swinging out around the edges.
Exactly.
Swing out, swing away from it. Just try to get away from it and go after the objectives. You have to focus the objectives. If you don't focus the objectives, you don't win the game.
Yeah, and this is something interesting where we see here that Baron during this shooting phase tanks about 15 wounds. Rob does not roll a 1. If Rob rolls a 1, the invuln goes away, the Baron is dead. He's going to die to the next round of shooting.
The actual funny thing is it's not until the very last Fire Warrior shoots that Baron fails to save. Last wound, Baron finally fails. So yeah, it's a problem. But simultaneously, if you're utilizing your mobility, like I would have wanted him to, you would be trying to get around those saves and trying to fire into the vulnerable things. Yeah. If you can fire, sure, invisibility is real strong. The other thing is this is the new psychic phase. Rob cast invisibility and only cast it on 2 and got denied.
Yeah, so that's his turn. This is Trevor's turn to where he can go, okay, lay the fire in. If I kill the Beast Pack, then my transports will probably hurt his transports, but that's not what happened.
Exactly. Baron stood on it. He didn't really maneuver around. And the problem is look at how stagnant his forces are. The thing is that Beast Pack is going to be a problem because Baron is strength 6 on the charge. Eldrad, strength 4, I believe, or strength 5. I believe he's armor bane. I don't know what weapon Baron actually has. I think he has a force staff. Baron Eldrad. I'm actually not sure. I gotta check that.
Yeah.
But it's, and then those Hellion boards, strength 4 on the charge. So
We're
the problem
seeing
is
Eldrad becoming a boss right there, and just go, and that Riptide is off the table. Psychic Shriek. Rob rolls a 16, just dunks it. Gets it out of the field. And now Trevor's super scrambling.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, but here's the thing. Those are 2 dead devilfishes that should have only been theoretically one. Yeah. You should have staggered yourself out. And now he's going, oh crap, you know, I can get hit here and here as well. You're not pushing out. And the problem is the biggest problem you're running into is, sure, you have these devilfishes that are objective secured, but there's nothing in them now because you started all your Fire Warriors on the table.
Exactly. He can't even pop the Fire Warriors out and then try to roadblock something with that.
He doesn't have the additional firepower. He would have lost some of the initial shots, but the retaliation that Beastar would have had when it hit the lines would have been much higher had there been 10 or 12 Fire Warriors sitting out there now going pew pew pew, and then 12 more getting out and going pew pew pew.
Yeah.
That beast pack, which doesn't have invisibility at this point, would get decimated. But the problem is he doesn't, because his Fire Warriors were on the table, he doesn't really have the staying power.
And we've seen in this game, there's been a ton of variance. We had Trevor seizing and blowing up most of the beast pack, which we didn't see coming. We had the missile sides getting taken off the table, which we didn't see coming. Anytime where you can leave yourself with more options at the end of the game, a lot of the time it's going to be a good idea. Even if that means that you're going to have to throw away units, because your entire list, you're not going to go into a game and go, well, I hope he doesn't kill any models.
Yeah.
You're going to have casualties. You're going to give up victory points. You're going to give up objectives.
So this is actually Rob playing from one of his strong points. Rob's actually one of the best players. I would actually put him, the only player I know that I personally know that plays from behind as well as Rob is Matt DeFranza.
I mean, part of that has to do with composure. You have to keep your composure. You can't just get salty and angry and then go, well, this game's over. Well, I'm just going to throw my stuff at him.
Yeah, exactly. Rob plays from behind really well. Trevor, on the other hand, he actually, I'm really surprised in this because Trevor realizes, oh crap, I'm in a bad spot. And Trevor starts making some ridiculously good calls for himself.
He starts making some plays, some very interesting stuff. We see he's still got the Skyray, he's still got one Riptide left. I mean, it's not exactly like Rob has a commanding force, but he definitely has threats that need to deal
Exactly. Like Rob is not, all over Trevor at this point. Like, so Devilfish just got assaulted. It survived. Well, Trevor does a great thing here. He moves his one Devilfish over and goes, okay, there is a blaster in that ruin. Hopefully I can survive it. So, he starts planning out his moves. Like, okay, if I move over here, I got to get to this objective. I'm objective secured. I have a Devilfish here, objective secured. I have a Riptide that can kind of go get Line Breaker. He starts making the right moves. One big thing he does, you see him thinking here, one big thing he ends up doing as a choice is he actually tank shocks and rams simultaneously the one Raider with the Devilfish, and just multiple tank shocks the Beastar back, and just kind of gives himself some cover. Now the explosion from the dead Ravager gets him some
dudes off the table.
Exactly, gets him some dudes off the table.
And one of the things that we can see is the Unity. If Trevor had one course of action throughout the entire game and he stuck to it, it could have went a lot differently. Because it's one of those things where Rob didn't have a choice what he had to do. Rob's had the clear plan to get across, kill the Devilfish, where Trevor's kind of like, he's been juking back and forth, going up and down, and we saw that worked out for him right now.
Yeah, no, Trevor is a very good player.
Yeah, he's good.
It's one of the reasons why we're so excited to have him kind of apping for the team, and he's currently going through the mentoring ship. He doesn't really have the experience that Rob has playing at like GT levels and all, and playing against some of the guys, but he doesn't normally make poor decisions. Now, one of the problems Trevor's running into is this is his first time with this list. Now, he's played MSU Tau. He was actually pioneering it in our community towards the old mission catalog missions we always talk about. It was working out well with him, but that was more of a Farsight based list, crisis suits, things like that. Now it's MSU Tau with Devilfish. I mean, and you're seeing that even getting crippled, there's still some firepower left in the unit.
Yeah, they definitely do work.
But it basically comes down to, it's Rob's turn to kind of move around. So you see him moving Eldrad into Beast Pack, kind of getting them back out of the terrain. They've pretty much cleaned up what needs to be cleaned up. I mean, there's 5 Cable Light Warriors sitting on the objective. Trevor needs those guys to die. He needs to get that Riptide down for Line Breaker, and then get the other Devilfish in. Like he's positioning himself to try to get what objective security still has left, even though he's been mutilated onto the objectives, and try to win maybe 1-0.
Yeah, and we always talk about you play to your outs, and that's the sort of thing. Every single one of our players thinks about that whenever you're going to try and make a move. You can't think 2-3 turns ahead because the game could possibly end.
Yeah, so I mean he kind of realizes as soon as that guy gets side streaked off the table, the second Riptide, now he needs to play for 6-7, and the game, they just rolled it. The game didn't go off, didn't end for him. Problem is now he got a couple unlucky immobilizes.
Mm-hmm. So it's one of those things where we take a look and Trevor's doing the most with what he's got left, but I mean, unfortunately, his stuff's just kind of getting picked off right now. Rob still has that strength. He's still got transports that can fire. He's still got warriors that can secure objectives, that sort of thing. And even though Trevor's playing really well, he's bringing it back. It just, unfortunately, a little too unlucky and a little too late.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes that's just the name of the game, though. Like, you don't have the staying power. And it really comes back. I think, honestly, what it's going to come back to is he had this game won, especially with that seize and the damage he did, had his Fire Warriors not been on the table. Had his Fire Warriors been in their transports and not been exposed to the fire, because all those squads were whittled down, whether it was by Venoms, regular shooting, or the Warp Spiders. They were all whittled down. If he had those, he would have had the staying power. He would have came out on the plus side of we're all getting beat up.
Yeah, it's something where we take a look, guys, and every single time that you play one of these games, you kind of have to sit back and look and go, all right, well, I tried something this time. Maybe for Trevor, it was disembarking the fires. Maybe for Trevor, it was doing the up, giving the back, that sort of thing. But you want to take it away as a learning experience, and I feel like Trevor definitely found something out today with that.
Yes, I agree.
It's just something where we can see here. There's no real replacement for experience and composure on the battlefield, and Rob's Sage Wisdom seems to pull it out.
Oh, man.